Yo, yo, yo. It's time for your favorite show. Spoiler alert. I know I'm super excited. It is episode 10 for us, boys. Like, I can't believe that we got to the double digits so fast. It feels like we just started this yesterday. So, if you're new tuning in, don't forget to follow us on Twitch. Make sure to turn those notifications on. Our show will air live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also follow us on Twitter and YouTube. The handle for both of those is Spoiler Alert for You. That's Spoiler Alert, the number 4, and the letter U. My name is Justin Time. I'm your host, and spoiler alert, I am feeling a little bit under the weather today, but I am here, still doing the show. Super excited for episode 10. I could not miss this. But if I sound a little nasally or something like that, please forgive me because I'm battling a cold or a sinus infection or something. So, but yeah, that's my spoiler alert. So, kicking it over to you, Nick.
What up, everyone? Name is Nick, aka Scante. It is pronounced Scante and not Scanty. Spoiler alert for today. I went for a half marathon today. Thought I could do it. I thought it was the day. Gassed out, like right at 11 miles. Hit a wall. Didn't plan my route well.
Shit.
I was going up this long ass hill, and I just had to throw in the towel. I had to call a ride in, get dropped back off at the house so I didn't miss the show. But
You called an Uber?
pretty bummed. No, I called a friend.
Oh, okay. You
Um,
said you did 11. You made it 11 miles.
10.94. I couldn't
Oh.
even make it to 11, dude. I was so annoyed. But
You did.
my goal is to do half a marathon by the end of this year. I thought today was the day, but we'll get there.
Well, you did
I mean, you
10.94
still have
miles more than I
months,
did.
bro. You have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
no.
For sure. Cool. Ryan, you're up.
Man, what up, man? You know, it's the biggest and the blackest, you know what I'm saying? Big black. What's happening, everybody, man? It's be here, man. I love you guys. And spoiler alert, I shot my first automatic weapon over the weekend, and
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I got to hear about this. What? Weren't you in DC?
Virginia.
Yeah. First automatic weapon in Virginia, actually. But
I mean, I was expecting like Vegas or Texas, but tell me about this. What was it?
all right, so it was an MP5K. It
Right.
was awesome. I didn't expect it to like be that fun for some odd reason, but all of a sudden I walk in there and he was like, "Yeah, it's only $85 for starting automatic weapons," and I'm like, "Oh, it sounds very cheap." And all you gotta do is pay the ammo. Like you rent it for $85
That's
and then
where
you
they
buy the
get you.
ammo.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't bad, bro. I didn't give a fuck, man. I shot like
How
300
many
rounds.
mags you
To
go
that
through?
motherfucker, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. It was
That's
fun as
9
hell,
mil, right?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 millimeter. It
It
was
was
fun as
awesome,
hell,
man.
bro. Oh my
Yeah.
god. And they're expensive as shit, by the way. The base one, like if you just get a semi, it was like $3,500, I think. Automatics $57,000. So old buddy was like, "Yeah, man, this is like a used C class." But for some odd reason, I didn't hear the price at first, like 100%. He said, sounded like he said 5,700. He was like, "Yeah, man, it's like a used C class Mercedes." I was like, "All right, sounds about right." You know, about C class Mercedes. You know, that's kind of rare. You know, 95. That's awesome. And then he hit me with that $57,000. I was like, "Damn, like, nigga, what?" Shit.
Just because.
And
But
that's like a
it was
base.
awesome, man.
That's just like a base weapon. Imagine what the U.S. government pays for like an M240 Bravo or
Exactly.
fucking like M4s with select fire and shit. Like, I wonder why our defense
Exactly.
budget's so big. There you go.
There it
Well,
is.
Nick, we
That's
need
badass,
to
though.
we need to take you to this place because it is a shooting range, a state of the art gym, a restaurant, like a massage, like therapist, yoga. Like this place has everything you can think of. And I mean like state of the art gym. They had like water weights in there and shit. Like it was pretty awesome. But the range, like it knocked Blackstone out of the park, honestly. You could even rent a freaking rocket launcher to like
Oh,
test shoot with like the
fucking way.
AK with like
In
the AK
Virginia?
rounds. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Dude, it was wild.
This is blowing my mind. It's the most
and-
shocking part of all this.
The most shocking part is you can get what's called their Apex membership. It's their highest membership tier. It costs $10,000 buy-in and then $400 a month after that. And that gets you exclusive
Yes.
access to who knows what. I think it's a cult. There's no way you're charging me $10,000 to join a shooting range in a gym. I think that price is so high to keep your normal average Joe from being able to purchase into what is definitely a cult. But we did enjoy the shooting range. The restaurant had really good food too. And obviously we didn't try out the gym, but we went up there and looked and it was awesome. So it was a pretty cool concept.
Yes.
That is fucking awesome, man.
Yep.
I would pay that before I paid for like a country club.
One of our brothers said that he was like,
110%.
this
Hell
is the
yeah.
new country club. So, and they have a
That's
daycare
awesome.
there. You can drop your kids off for like 3 hours at a time. You know, go to.
They
the
thought of
shooting
everything,
range.
dude.
Yeah, exactly.
They did, bro. They
That
really
is
did.
awesome. That is
Yes.
sick.
So, needless to say, we had a really, really good weekend. So, other than me feeling under the weather right now, we went to the casino. I went up about $900 and then lost it all.
Sounds about par for the course for Justin.
I know. So I
Ain't
should have got
ain't
up
that
off. I should have got up off the table, roulette. It wasn't just me though. One of my other brothers was up almost as high as I was, and we were egging each other on, which basically caused our downfall. So, but we had a really good time. It was a really good weekend.
Was it all roulette?
Yeah, of course. You know,
Of course.
Of course.
it's my game of
Justin
choice.
is a fiend for roulette, dude.
Sure am. Cool. Well, sounds like we all had eventful weekends and different things going on. So we will hop right into it. I see we got a few people in the chat. My name is Despair said, I feel you. She gassed out at 10. Only means that you got to improve. That's right. Just pick yourself up and keep going. I feel that. E. Connor said good stuff, though, Nick. 11 miles is great. Again, did 11 more miles than I would have done. So awesome stuff. And then one of our favorite people's in here, Target Lex. She said we're her favorite people, but she is also one of our favorite people. So we appreciate you hopping in. And then E. Connor said he's not surprised that I couldn't, make it 10 miles exactly. So definitely not in
I think he was saying not surprised that you lost all that money. At roulette.
Oh, right. Man, I know.
That's probably less surprising.
I should have got up off the table, man. I had it in the bag, and I let it go. So
You did, man.
Yep.
You really did. I won't say a word. It's all good.
Anywho, we will kick it over to one of our favorite segments. We're going to talk about some spoiled news, talk about some different things going on in the world. So first, don't know if anybody's watched it yet, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, the Netflix special, is out. I watched it the morning that it came out, literally woke up at like 8:30 to check it out. It was really, really good. It was very well done. It had the perfect amount of nostalgia. Of course, it was super corny, super cheesy, just like a Power Rangers, what you expect from Power Rangers, but it also didn't take itself seriously in the moments that it needed to. But then there were actually some really good moments where it did have more of a serious tone. For those of you who don't know, the original Yellow Ranger, she passed away quite a long time ago. And so they paid a really, really nice tribute to her in the movie. They also paid a tribute to Jason David Frank, who played Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Black Ranger. He had many iterations. Probably one of the most famous Rangers out there, who committed suicide last year, I believe, towards the end of last year. So they paid tribute to him as well. So it was very awesome, very well done. Loved it. If you were a fan of the original Power Rangers, I really encourage you to go watch it because it definitely has something for you, and it hits that nostalgia bone right in the field. So yeah, and then second piece of news, Mandalorian season 3 finale aired like 2 weeks ago. Man, it was awesome. Honestly, the reason I wanted to share this is because, Nick, I think you watched season 1 and you haven't watched season 2 or 3, but The Mandalorian might be the best Star Wars content like out there, honestly, in my personal opinion. I'm a fan of the original trilogy movies. I know they get a lot of hate, but those are probably my favorite, and this is kind of up there for me, especially season 3. There are varying opinions on how good it is, but I thought it was awesome. It had good action, very good story. So I definitely encourage you to catch up on The Mandalorian because it's a really, really good show.
All right. Right on.
Cool.
I know you ain't lying. Is that all you got?
That's all I got, man.
All right. We know you're all about them Power Rangers. You might be the one. You might be the only one. Just holding
okay.
the ground.
And
on
that's
Power
fine.
Rangers.
I mean, but the Power Rangers was awesome. And now I didn't watch nearly as many as Justin has, but Power
But these
Rangers
are the
was pretty
originals,
fun.
so this is what we all
I'm
watched
not
when
hating.
we were kids. So
I'm not hating.
check it out. It's like 40 minutes long. Like it's really not like a super amount of time that you have to watch. It's like an extended like one episode basically. So but they did a lot in 40 minutes and it was really good. I enjoyed it. So
All right. Well, it sounds like guessing back up in the chat. Beast Boy said he got me, so I guess Beast Boy is a fan too.
yeah.
Maybe I'm in the minority here. God, I can't freaking talk. All right, so started off with my spoiled news, something that I found hilarious. I don't know about any of y'all out there, but my mom is obsessed with Candy Crush. Like she's on level like 4,000 something,
Really?
and it's like every like older lady
Damn.
that I know. Like I have this older lady on my team at work. She's on her lunch break. She's fucking crushing Candy Crush, dude.
Okay.
And she's also on level like 4,000 something. So something about Candy Crush has a hold on the middle-aged white women of America right now. And we've
That
got
and snitching
what's her
on
name?
black folks,
Erin
but, you know.
Roden is a 48-year-old mother who lives in Columbus, Ohio. And her son tweeted out that she apparently entered some type of Candy Crush tournament without even knowing or having any idea what it was. She was just playing her Candy Crush. Ended up as the number 1 seed in the region. He says, which he thinks is number 1 in the USA. So she's moving on to the semifinals of a $250,000 Candy
What?
Crush tournament without even knowing that she like entered.
Wow.
She's just playing the game. And so I think it's going to be, they said, her and 9 other people are going to the UK to compete for the prize on May 25th. So, good luck, Aaron. We're rooting for you, I guess.
So, a
Go out
couple
there and crush
things.
it.
First thing, like, on like you had mentioned that you were going to talk about this, and you said mom accidentally entered a 250,000 Candy Crush. I thought you were going to talk about your mom, so I was really
Oh,
interested to hear this
I
story about
thought
how
so
your
too,
mom
man.
personally did that. But then, second thing, this makes me feel some type of way, knowing that I play video games like every day, all day, and yet here is a middle-aged woman who's made it any farther, like farther than I ever have in a game tournament, and could potentially win $250,000 as a middle-aged woman. So, but like you said, we are rooting for you, Aaron. So,
uh, it's really funny. Apparently, it is the most successful mobile game ever.
I believe it.
Because it like I don't know, it just entices you to buy those extra lives, and you're so close. You just needed 2 more moves. You need those little bars. Get those extra lives.
I never
So,
played Candy Crush,
yeah.
so I have no idea like how to even play. So,
it's mindless.
Were-
I mean, I play it sometimes.
Were any
but
of y'all big into mobile games like that?
not once they all started going pay to play
Yeah.
Mm.
or pay to win, I should say.
I played, which was a pay to win, Iron Man 3. And it was pretty fun. But that was like when, the MCU was still, rolling full steam ahead, and they had this game that had all these crazy ass Iron Man suits that you could get. Of course you had to pay money for it. And that was the last for me where I was like, you know what? I put way too much money into this mobile game for like no reason, just to get some cool looking Iron Man suit. So that was the end of it for me.
Yeah. Lex says her mom is a Candy Crush master as well.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe once you hit a certain age, it's just what you do.
Yeah.
And Lex said this is why Microsoft wanted King. King is the studio that makes Candy Crush for the middle-aged white women. Probably Lex,
Guess so.
because apparently it has over 250 million monthly users, and the franchise is so big that it may be officially released on Xbox soon, which would explain the Microsoft acquisition. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. Sleeper, dude.
Candy Crush, bro. All right.
Temple Run. Does Clash of Clans count?
I remember
Clash of Clans is big.
Temple Run.
Clash of Clans is big. I clash as well, on and off.
Temple Run, Flappy Bird. I remember when that was the big rave.
Fucking Flappy Bird,
Flappy
dude.
Bird, yeah. So, but though Temple Run
Do
and
you
Flappy
remember
Bird weren't
in-
really pay to win though. Like you could still
No.
win, like beat those games without like paying any real money. So
And I talked about how I recently downloaded Hearthstone again and quickly got discouraged at
demolished.
how far behind I am, just because of not paying. But anyway, so moving on to another game on the opposite end of the spectrum, at least graphics wise. This is a game that is called Unrecord. It's
Oh,
a tactical
bro.
shooter FPS.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
somebody has made this trailer on Unreal Engine 5, which is showing crazy promise. I've seen some really crazy stuff coming out of Unreal
play the trailer?
Engine 5. Yep, I got the trailer pulled up here. So what you all are about to watch is not real life. This is a video game,
The whole concept is you're playing like
artificially
a
generated.
cop, and like you're playing from the view of his body cam, right?
I think so. That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Dude, it looks
Bro,
really sick.
no.
Ryan, you cut
Ready?
out for a second. What'd you say?
I said there's no way in hell.
Mhm.
Oh, now the actual end game won't end up looking like this because the hardware you would need to render these types of graphics in real time would be like NASA supercomputer level. So it's just cool to see what's possible and what the future holds.
Yeah.
We'll get here eventually.
Yeah, and of course, the sound's going to be a little
Fun.
low. We're still working on that, but we're here
Yeah.
for the footage. So
Turn it up if you want to hear, but this one's really more about the graphics.
exactly.
A camera. It's actually gameplay from an Unreal Engine 5 video game called Unrecord that's currently in development from a new independent studio. This video has taken the gaming internet by storm in the last few days. Many people blown away by the visual fidelity and others claiming that it's all fake or pre-rendered. So today I'm going to dive in and take a look at this, tell you a bit about the game and get to the bottom of it all. So the buzz for this actually started back in October 2022. Alexandre Spidler, who is creative director and a lead programmer on this new project, released a video on Twitter saying simply, "I'm working on a body cam style game," with a few hashtags thrown in for good measure. And in that 45-second video, we see what looks like body cam footage of a person holding a gun, moving through a dilapidated environment and taking down a few baddies along the way. The quality of the clip is awful as it's on Twitter and only in 720p resolution. But I think
I won't sit here and play the whole thing, but you get the gist of the idea.
Yeah.
This is absolutely incredible. It's still, even now, I'm having a hard time believing that this is artificially generated. And I remember when this clip came out too, I was like, ain't no way this is real. But it is.
It's real that it's not real.
Real that it's not real.
Exactly. Can you
That's so-
imagine that in VR, like playing that on like a VR headset?
Oh
It'd be
my
insane.
God, dude. Be the future.
Yeah, man.
That will be the future.
Yeah, well,
So I'm excited.
Same. Yeah, I think all eyes are going to be on this game and the development of it. So we'll keep a close eye on it, provide any updates for you guys.
For sure. That's all I got. Ryan, over to
Alrighty.
you.
Man, in honor of your draft day, which is on Thursday, I'm
Yes.
excited, by the way, because I got tickets today for the draft day at the Panther Stadium. Super
alright.
excited.
Yeah.
I actually got to try to switch with somebody because apparently there's a meet and greet for the first 200 people that get there when the gates open. So
Oh, shit.
yeah, pretty daggone excited about that. But anyway, in honor of draft day coming up, Aaron Rodgers is officially a New York Jet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, everybody's having these blockbuster deals and stuff like that. And we all knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to go to the Jets anyway after he pulled that, "Oh, these are a list of the receivers that I want to have on the team." I'm like, can't fucking do that, dude. But whatever, man. But yeah, it's official. He's a Jet today. He's wearing his old college number 8. He's, I think they said Joe Namath said that he can have number 12, and they were like, "Nah, I'm just going to keep number 8." It's like, all right, cool, bet.
Where'd he go to school?
But yeah. Don't
Guess
quote
it's
me.
as good as mine.
I forgot. Yep, I forgot. But yeah, for sure.
That's crazy, man. How do you think he's going to do?
You know what? I'll be honest with you, man. It's no matter what, it's chemistry. He's a veteran though, and he's a really good veteran. But I mean, you can be a great football player if you just all of a sudden get thrown into a team. You have to get some type of chemistry with them. Like, you're going to throw picks left and right because you don't know the timing of your receivers. Like, the game, man. It's not like it's not a plug and play thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to
dude,
be
I'm a
good
Panthers fan,
as
I know.
good, but
I'm
yeah.
I'm not as concerned with Aaron Rodgers like gelling with the team, because I mean, like you said, he's a vet and he's one of the best vets out there. Like, he's one of the best quarterbacks that we've seen. He is the last of what I consider that old guard of like Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like all those guys that played together, right? I just think he's old. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, seeing him last year and how banged up he was, and trying to play through that, I was just like, bro, like, retire. Like, you've accomplished what you needed to accomplish. Like, just to me, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge because these young guys, these young defensive linemen, they're going to be coming at him full speed. And, is he going to be able to maintain that? I feel like it's going to take like one big hit. Next thing you know, he's going to be like injured again. Just my personal opinion on it. And so I don't think he's going to have any issue like gelling with the team. I think his biggest issue is going to be his health, because he's just, he's older and wiser now. So
Yeah,
That
I
is
agree.
true.
It seems like he's kind of in his twilight years here. It's like doing the Greg Olson thing.
yeah, interesting for the
going wherever he
Jets.
can get a good deal.
And interesting for the Jets to bet on him. I feel like this may be a very short term like mentality of like, let's try and get a Super Bowl within the next like couple years, because you can't expect Aaron Rodgers to be your franchise QB of the Jets. Like, he's not going to be there that long. So, but it is what it is. They decided to go with it. I am very interested to see how he does this year. And it was a big move. It definitely spread some waves throughout the NFL with them finally acquiring him. So
Do we know how much he paid? How much they paid for him?
No, I saw the draft picks, and apparently he can potentially be a 2024 pick if he plays, I think 65% of plays or something like that. And at first I was like, wow, 65% of plays, like that's a good amount. You know what I'm saying? But it's not really. Like,
I mean,
play,
if you get
what,
injured, it's
8
going to be
games,
hard to
100%?
accomplish that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird that they would make that a contingency, though,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And I don't think it's based on games. I think it's based on like play time, like the amount of time. Like that, each game is X amount of time. He has to play a certain amount of minutes in order to hit that 65%. I think that's the way that it is. So.
right.
Interesting.
In the chat, E. Connor said Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud for the Panthers. Beast Boy said Bryce Young is a better all-around QB. I disagree, but this has been a conversation amongst the three of us and amongst many, many people in Charlotte about who the Panthers are going to take first. So, we got a couple of days before we find out. So,
Don't worry, I'm on the edge of my seat. Trust me.
Either
We'll bring you a
either one
breakdown
of
of
them.
it. Maybe we can spend a little bit of time on that in one of our shows.
Yeah,
Trust
for
me.
sure. For sure. Maybe the next show, since we'll know by then who they picked, so we can talk about it. Cool.
Oh,
Good
and
stuff.
Lex, no, Eli does not play anymore.
Yeah, the Manning brothers are retired. Now they're doing
The Manning brothers,
State
yep.
Farm
Insurance commercials
Yeah,
and
State Farm commercials.
hot
together, I
sauce.
think.
Hot
yeah,
sauce?
with the
Who
other
does hot
brother
sauce?
too.
Eli does
yeah.
Frank's Red Hot.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep. So yeah, they are retired. Well, good stuff. We will have probably lots of football to talk about next week, as we probably analyze the different draft picks, because I'm looking forward to see who the Eagles get at number 10. The Houston Texans also have quite a few picks, and I know they were the worst team in the league this year, but I think they're going to be dangerous in the next couple of years. Yeah, well, right. So yeah, we'll
Almost
definitely talk about football in detail next episode. So. Anything else, Ryan? Any other hot topics, spoiled news?
No, that's all good, man. I'm in the football mood, man, because trust me, Monday I'm going to have a lot to say about some football. Trust me.
Sounds good. All right. Well, that covers our spoiled news for today. So we are going to get into our next topic. I am going to kick it over to Nick. So we all promised you guys something last episode, and then we got to talking about some different things, and the episode kind of got away from us. But we want to talk about it today because we told you we're going to bring you this. So Nick, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah. So he says it was me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Hey, man, we're
I
a team here,
promised you
bro.
all a list of the top 10 top 10 highest grossing video game movies of all time. So I need to revisit that here. Now I will start from 10th and go up to first. Does anyone know who the first is?
You said highest grossing video game adaptations?
Yeah, highest grossing video game movies.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the original Super Mario Bros.
The original.
The
Oh,
original
okay.
Super Mario Bros. Movie with, God, there was a live action like back in the 90s. It was god awful. It was fucking
Yeah, I'm about to say,
terrible.
didn't it suck?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, I don't
was
know.
pretty
I feel
terrible.
like it probably made a lot of money. So, but that was just me taking a guess.
How
right,
about Mortal Kombat?
That's
Keep
a good
your
one.
Mortal Kombat could be a good one. Well, keep your votes coming in the chat because I'm going to go again from the bottom of the list up to the top. So
And don't-
shout out your number one pick.
Don't cheat. I'm looking at you, Beast
Yeah.
Boy. I know you'll probably Google it right now, so don't cheat.
All right, so starting at number 10, honestly, totally forgot about this one. The Angry Birds movie.
Oh shit! I forgot they made a movie.
I
about that.
totally forgot there was an Angry Birds movie.
I forgot about the Angry
2016
Birds game.
at
We were talking about mobile games.
$352 million.
Okay.
Which
We were talking about mobile. I said we were talking about mobile games and we forgot to mention Angry
Yeah.
Birds. So
Angry Birds is actually a good mobile game.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
That was a
I
good
enjoyed
one.
it.
Yeah. And all the different adaptations. All right, number 9, we have Uncharted.
Okay. The
At
most recent one.
402 million. Yeah, the one with Tom Holland.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It was a decent movie. It wasn't great or anything, but it was entertaining.
Right.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. No, you need to
haven't
look at
seen
it.
most
It
of
was
it.
actually
Yeah.
it was decent.
All right, cool. Number 8, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2
Yeah.
at 405 million. That was last year.
Dude, the Sonic
Number-
movies are
go
sleepers,
ahead.
man. The Sonic movies are sleepers. Both of them are actually really, really good. And shout out to the people who made those movies for actually listening to their fans and changing the design of Sonic. Because, good God, the original design was fucking terrible.
Hey, the original OG Sonic of like that motherfucker was on crack, though.
Yeah, he was.
on cocaine.
And
I've never seen a better example of the internet just absolutely bullying a fucking movie studio into submission.
At least they
They
listened,
released
though.
that picture and people like torches and pitchforks were rioting in the streets. They were so upset.
Yeah.
And they were so persistent too, man. They were like, "Hey, bro, y'all gonna change this shit."
I mean, it paid off for them, honestly. Like, I mean, it ended up
Yeah.
being a really well-reviewed movie, and I don't think it would have been had they kept the original look of the Sonic. So,
Yeah. Same thing as The Last of Us. Like, just listen to people
right,
and
exactly.
you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, also forgot about this one. Rampage.
Ooh, Rampage, dude, that was
The
a
Rock.
fun
It was a
movie.
Rampage movie.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, dude.
It
With
was
The Rock back in 2018.
It was fun. It
Huh.
was hilarious. It was an absolutely terrible movie. Like, the plot was terrible, the acting was terrible, but it was like the action was really, really good. It's basically another like kaiju fighting movie. And then it had some really good like slapstick comedy. So, but overall, it was a terrible movie.
I remember playing that game at the skating rink. We had a local skating rink where we'd
Yeah.
have PTO skate night, and they had like the arcade game set up, and I
Yep.
would fucking just sit there and play Rampage for like an hour, bro.
Yeah, man.
I loved that game.
When they released it on the original PlayStation, bro, like hands down, me and my brother, because that was like one of the first
on
co-op
PlayStation?
games on PlayStation. Yeah, they had a version on PlayStation. You could
shit.
play co-op. You could play with other people, playing the monsters and just beating down shit, dude. It was awesome. We loved it.
Beating the buildings up and grabbing people and eating them.
Yeah.
And you'd like eat certain things you throw up.
Oh,
was
yeah.
funny. All right. It doesn't give me a counter list, so I have to count it. Detective Pikachu at number 6.
One I never
in
saw.
2019. Yeah.
I heard it was
432
good. I
million.
just never got around to watching it. So
Yeah. Ryan, did you see it?
No, I did not see that. And I was actually cool with the first 150 Pokemon, so probably would have enjoyed it.
All right. Number 5, we have Warcraft back in 2016. That was
Oh.
2016?
really, that movie was terrible too. Like, people hated that movie, but I mean, I guess it's
I'm about to say people ragged that movie, man.
Yeah.
Neckbeards came out strong, I guess, that opening weekend, dude. 439 million.
Damn.
No, I do respect WoW as a video game,
Yeah.
but I did not see the movie. I apologize. This was not a top 10 list. This was a 7, top 7 list. I
Oh,
apologize.
okay.
So take everything, subtract 3 from it, and we're to the number 1 pick. Which really surprised me that Warcraft was the second highest grossing video game movie of all time. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Number 1, Super Mario Brothers.
The
The
original.
one that we just saw. The new
Oh,
one.
the one. The
No,
new one.
not the
Okay.
original one.
I was about to
Ain't
say.
nobody gonna see
Boy,
450 million, and obviously still counting
Yeah.
in theaters.
right.
So I'm guessing
Okay.
this counts like total revenue from the theaters.
It was a good movie. Like, despite what
good.
critics say, it was a good movie. It was exactly what it needed to be. So,
right.
What's like off the top of your head your favorite video game movie?
ooh, Resident Evil probably stands out to me. Specifically, like Resident Evil 3. That was really,
Three?
really good. Yeah, Resident Evil 3,
Interesting.
I think it was Apocalypse. That was the one where they were like, it was like full blown apocalypse. They were like traveling through the desert, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, that was one of my favorites. So, and 2 was
I
good too.
thought that wasn't 2.
No, 2 was when they were trying to escape like Raccoon City. You remember 1 was like 1 followed the game because it was like the mansion.
When they were in the hive.
Right.
One
and
was
then-
in the hive.
Yeah,
2
and
was
then-
in Raccoon City.
Exactly, which followed the game. And then 3 did not follow like Resident Evil 3 the game, but I still thought it was like a really good movie. And then they all like started to suck after that.
Yeah.
How many were there? Were there like 5?
I think they're still going, dude.
Yes, they are. But the most recent one, Welcome to Raccoon City, was like a reboot. So it was like all new characters, and they basically started over. It was okay. There wasn't anything like fantastic about it. It was an okay movie. So, but yeah,
I think probably Resident. I'd agree with you. I think Resident Evil, but I like the original one.
the first
The
one.
original one. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. It wasn't bad. You know, it had Michelle Rodriguez in it. I always remember that.
And Keith Urban.
Yeah,
Shout
Keith
out.
Urban was in it. Cool. Well, we got our top 7, but it looks like we got a lot of chatter. So let's see what people are saying.
Yeah, we do. You want me to take it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we have Target Lex, who did not like the Sonic movies.
Really?
Beast
Okay.
Boy just said Detective Pikachu and Super Mario. You said Detective Pikachu first, so sorry, Beast Boy. You missed out on no prize. The first Sonic looked like Sanic. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Lex and Despair both like Resident Evil. I know Despair likes Resident Evil because we just watched it like a month ago. Despair also said, I wonder if Final Fantasy would be up there. I loved Advent Children, but I don't know if it was really
Adventure, yes, yeah.
popular. I knew Ryan was
Clearly
We're
gonna-
all
Ryan's a
listening to
fan.
Advent Children now. It was
Clearly
beautiful.
Ryan's a fan.
God, that movie was so beautiful. Y'all gotta look at that. Take the time to look at that movie. That is a very, very good movie. You need to
Okay.
see it.
All right. I'll check
I
it out.
remember it.
I definitely didn't see it, but I'll check it out.
You need to.
You
know
what?
Speaking of which, I assume was that live action or was it animated?
it was animated.
Okay. Speaking of like animated like movies based off video games, the Resident Evil animated movies were actually pretty good. I've enjoyed those, and the most recent one was like badass. They had like this fight scene with like Leon and Chris, just like whooping zombie ass, bro. It'd be everything you'd ask for from like a zombie action like film. So the actual animated Resident Evil movies are pretty good too.
All right. Bet. Beast Boy asked what we think about the Dragon Ball Evolution.
Ooh boy, don't get me started on that hot.
Yeah, I'm about to
piece
say,
of
man,
dumpster
throw that
fire.
motherfucking trash and light it on.
Hands down, one of the worst adaptations of anything of all time in the history of the universe. No, what would beat it?
The Last Airbender?
Ooh, yeah. Okay, all right, that's
yeah,
close.
That was pretty bad.
I
That
don't.
shit was sucked.
Oh man, both of them are like neck and neck.
Mortal Kombat with the second one, Annihilation.
But that was like direct to DVD. We're not gonna count that one.
Yeah, I ain't worried about
That
that.
fucking counts,
Dude, honestly, like I'm having a tough time picking either Dragon Ball Evolution or The Last Airbender because both of them were like absolutely terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to like go back and watch them again and like have my eyes bleed because I haven't seen them in so long to like see which one is a worse movie, honestly. So,
Don't forget about Doom.
dude,
With
I
The
love
Rock,
Doom.
but-
I don't care.
but we like that one.
Doom was awesome.
If you didn't
bad
know
movie.
if you didn't know it was Doom and you watched Doom, you'd be like, you know what? That movie was full of action, you know? And then it's like, all right.
Terrible story. Terrible story. It was all over the place, but the action was awesome. So,
Hey,
Despair
E. Connor
Ghost in
said
the
Street
Shell.
Fighter, and he's right.
yeah, Street Fighter was pretty bad.
Dude, you know which
it's
one
horrible.
bummed me out was fucking Assassin's Creed. That should have been such a good movie.
Yeah, that was a disappointment too. So,
Mhm.
well, we already knew this, but lots of adaptations that just failed to hit the mark.
Yeah. It's just This is why I appreciate The Last of Us so much more.
I mean, it's rich people, like rich owners of these like production companies who are like trying to like buy off the hype of like these series, and they have no idea about the like content itself. And they could care less. And I think we're finally starting to see a shift. I mean, we've had some pretty decent things come through here recently, so hopefully we will continue to roll with that.
Yeah, it's like I think hopefully they'll realize that if you do it right, you can't just like you're not just gonna make the quick buck. Like you can keep making movies, you can keep
Exactly.
making money, you can make a franchise out of this because the fucking material is already written for you, man.
Exactly.
Like you don't have to do any of the writing. Just do it right.
Exactly.
So-
I mean, Dragon Ball, for example, like how many different stories could you tell about that content if you would have done it right?
Right.
So same with The Last Airbender, like all of that stuff. So yeah, I agree with you 100% there.
Does
Still can't
Battleship
fucking believe
count?
The Last Airbender.
Dude, okay, so objectively, Battleship is a terrible fucking movie. But, dude, some of the action sequences in Battleship where they're like actually on the ships and the aliens come down and they start like throwing slingshot balls at people and stuff. Dude, it's fucking awesome. It's lit, bro. So that's another movie that is objectively very bad, but I do.
I can't believe they brought aliens into that fucking
Yes,
movie,
exactly.
dude.
Like all they had to do was
You
like
know, I
make
have not
two
seen
armies. All they had to do was make two armies like against each other.
Right.
Like, I don't know,
Just
like
make it
a
a war
regular
movie.
fucking war. Yeah, exactly. But no, they were like, you know what this
Like,
needs?
no, what
Fucking
if-
aliens.
What if? They're just ripping lines of coke in the boardroom. They're like, hear me out, guys. Aliens.
Exactly. Oh man, yeah. Oh, I forgot about Battleship. That is like a hidden, like dirty gem of a movie.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool, good stuff. Well, let's move on. We are going to continue to talk about movies, but we are going to switch gears here a little bit. In honor of our 10th episode, we decided that we were going to share with you all our top 10 movies. Now, I will, put a spoiler alert on this. These are not necessarily well-reviewed movies. Some of these may actually be the worst movies of their respective franchises, but these are personally our favorite movies. So, I am going to kick off with Nick. I'm going to give your top 10, and then let's talk about a few of those. And if any of them are surprising to you guys in the chat, like go ahead and pop it in there, and we'll talk about it. So Nick, and this is not in any particular order, by the way. Nick's top 10 movies. Number 1, Forrest Gump. Love it. Great movie. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. That is
Oh,
also.
you're just gonna
Oh,
do it. My
you go
movies
ahead.
for me.
Oh, go ahead. You got it, bro. No. Go ahead.
Yes,
My bad.
Forrest
Let me-
Gump at the
let me
top,
bag that.
like you said. You're good. I tried to put it in order. It's like sort of kind of in order, and I'm sure that I forgot one, and I'll be pissed at myself later. But number 1, Forrest Gump. Number 2, Lord of the Rings, specifically Lord of the Rings: Two Towers, extended edition, of course. Get the fuck out if you're watching the regular. The Departed, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Fight Club, Gladiator, Inglourious Bastards, and Pulp Fiction. I couldn't decide which Tarantino movie to put on there, so I put them both on there. Fuck it.
Okay.
Snatch, and of course 28 Days Later. So
All right.
Forrest
28
Gump, I know
Oh.
people have some mixed feelings about it. Some parts of it haven't aged well, but it's just one of those movies that always gets me in the feels. It's been a movie I've watched like my whole life growing up. It's always on TV. I'll watch it. It's long. It's got a ton of stuff to it. High rewatch value of that. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, obviously the best movie of the franchise, but any of the 3 original trilogy could easily be swapped in there for me. But that Battle of Helm's Deep is just goated. You're not going to beat that battle scene in a movie. And then Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I had to throw a comedy in there. High rewatch value, very dense in jokes. And then, like I said, I couldn't decide between my 2 favorite Tarantinos, so I just put them both in there.
Got you. Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers is also my favorite of the trilogy. I'm not like a super fan like you, but that is the best one. 28 Days Later surprised me a little bit because I think most people like 28 Weeks Later. It's been a long time since I've seen either one of those movies, but I do remember both of them being pretty good. I've actually never seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's probably that is the only one on your list that I haven't seen. So I am adding that to my list for sure to watch.
I would love to watch it with you.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's up your alley. It's very much like white people comedy, Judd Apatow, Jonah Hill, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But it is
I fucks with
a
Jonah
movie
Hill.
that never fails to make me laugh my ass off. And like I said, very dense in jokes. 28 Days Later, I would not I would not fault someone for liking 28 Weeks Later more. That was one of the few times when a franchise actually did, or a sequel did really, really well.
Mhm.
But 28 Days Later, I sound like a hipster here. I was into the whole zombie movie and show thing before Walking Dead, before everybody got into zombies.
Yep.
I was into it. And 28 Days Later is hands down the best zombie movie of all time. Don't at me. It's a fact. Get out of my face.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
No, but Despair's been trying to get me to watch that. She says it's very good.
I think you might think it's better than 28 Days Later. It's really
Doubt it.
it's really good. But we'll see. We need to watch that one together too. So cool, good stuff. Let's see. Some people talking about movies in the chat. I see Target Lex said From Dusk Till Dawn. Love it, classic. That was directed by Quentin Tarantino, right?
Class.
The one thing I remember about
yeah.
that. The one thing I remember about that movie is Salma Hayek. Like, I remember her putting her foot in Quentin Tarantino's mouth, and then pouring tequila down her leg, and that's how he like took his tequila shot. And it just is always hilarious to me because he like wrote the script, and then he was like, you know what, this is the character that I want to play. So,
Yes. He wrote a character into
Take
the movie
full
and then
advantage.
cast himself as that character.
exactly.
But so that's the Salma Hayek scene you remember, huh?
Yeah.
From that
Oh, well, I
whole
mean,
movie.
obviously
That's
there are
the-
other.
not
No,
the
no, no, no,
snake-
no, no.
Not the snake dance.
No, of course there are other ones. I just remember that specifically because of Quentin Tarantino and him being involved in that scene. So
Oh, he definitely has a foot fetish.
for sure.
He like a bunch of his movies have feet in them.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I was thinking about like Kill Bill, when she's like paralyzed and we literally get like the close in shot of her wiggling her toes.
Yep. And
Okay.
Inglourious Bastards with the whole
Wiggle
foot, the
the
shoe
Oh
thing. is how
yeah,
Hans
dude, I
Zimmer finds-
never thought
They're in
about
all
that.
his movies.
Oh,
He's definitely got a foot fetish.
I need
He's
to
a
go
foot
back
guy.
and like watch all his movies and see like all the references to feet. So
Oh, Beast Boy,
Hey,
you're
it's
making me feel
crazy how
old,
y'all
dude.
keep saying that now, dude. It's crazy.
Beast Boy says he's never heard of any of them except for the top two.
yeah, they were before
Teach
your
this
time.
man, Justin.
Before his time, man. Before his time.
I don't know. He's missing out.
All
There's
right.
a lot in the chat. I don't know if you want to try and go through all this or just pick out some.
Absolutely not. But we appreciate everybody chatting amongst yourselves. But for the sake of time, like, let's continue to move on. So,
All right, fair enough.
yeah. Ryan, you're up. Unless you wanted me to
Oh,
read them for you. Clearly, Nick wanted to read.
Nah,
them,
man,
so-
I know what's. Hey, man, you know, put a little bit of hype in my shit. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
all
You
right,
gotta
go ahead.
feel me. You know, hey, in no particular.
Particular.
Fuck it, man.
Particular.
You gotta
Particular.
say straight up. No, all right, you get it. Well, hey, man, in no order whatsoever. These are the top hits by Big Black. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start out with Top Gun 2. I mean, we're just gonna go ahead and put that one there. I'm sorry.
All right.
And now, with that being said, probably one of the least favorite Fast and Furious is Tokyo Drift. Definitely gonna say Tokyo.
Hot take.
Yep.
for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Take.
But anyway, don't
I
worry
don't
about
hate
that.
it. I
you
don't
know.
hate it. I'm just saying. It's a hot take.
It's very hot.
I
take.
get it. I get it. Fifth Element. It's crazy when Justin told me he'd never seen Fifth Element.
Yeah, I
It's so
haven't.
crazy.
I haven't seen Fifth Element, or at least I don't remember
it's
it. I need to go
crazy,
back
man.
and watch it, or watch it for the first time.
Such a great
potentially,
movie.
so.
Such a great movie. John Wick 3. Biker Boys.
Yeah,
And
classic.
There's a reason for that too.
Classic.
Alita Battle Angel.
Okay.
Yes, love
Getting
that
your-
movie.
getting your anime in
Bad
there, I
Boys
love it.
2.
Yeah,
Mm.
Bad Boys 2 is classic. Classic.
Gotta say it. You already knew that. Umbach.
Oh,
Dude,
all right, Tony
I
Jaa.
was so happy to see this on your list. I fucking love
yes,
Umbach.
dog. Yes, dog. Yes. Kung Fu Hustle. And
Okay.
again, last but definitely not least, because this is in no particular order. Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children.
Oh, but they were just talking about that in the chat.
I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you, such a good movie, dog.
Okay.
Such a good movie, dog.
So Final Fantasy, I need to see Alita Battle Angel, and I need to see Fifth Element, and then Forgetting Sarah Marshall from Nick. So got a good list of movies I need to watch.
I got Alita if you want it. It's in 4K too. So
Okay.
if you want to borrow it, I got it.
Gotta pause real fast. Gotta give a shout out to
Yeah.
Lex. We appreciate it. She just gifted a tier 1 sub. Econer was the person to receive that gifted sub. So shout out to Lex. Also shout out to Econer for receiving that. So appreciate that.
Because I actually, Yeah, yeah.
It also
Boy, ain't
looks
gonna have
like
a clue how to use it, but it's very generous of you, Lex.
Right.
it also looks like Target Lex maybe doesn't like Battle Angel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat, and I was like, "Well, there's only
Uh-oh.
one," but it's okay. So, not trying to make the first and foremost, there is a manga, and it is actually apparently very, very good.
Okay.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the movie because I didn't read the manga, honestly. Now, I bet you $100 if I go read the manga, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna find holes, I'm gonna find bullshit, but. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. The movie for what it was, I really enjoyed it. I really did.
Okay. I need to see it for myself in order to form an opinion about it. So
You will trust me. I know you'll break it down. So
yeah. Cool. Good stuff. All right. We are going to move on to my top 10 list. Save the best for last. Just kidding. So starting off, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the one that came out in like, I don't know, 1994, 1995. It's hands down probably my favorite movie on this list just because it was the first movie I saw in theaters. I went to go see it with my dad, so it will forever have a special place in my heart. I will never forget that. So that's why it remains on the list. And it's a good movie. I really, really enjoy it. Transformers. I had a tough time deciding between the original Transformers and then Transformers Dark of the Moon, which was the third Transformers movie. I decided to go with the original for one specific reason. When this movie came out in 2008, it blew my fucking mind with the CGI, bro. I got this movie on DVD the day it came out, and I watched it at least once a week for like a year straight. This movie could not do any wrong, in my opinion, because the CGI was so fucking good. Seeing like Optimus Prime and all the like Autobots and shit like transform and fight and all the carnage. Oh, it was just such a good movie, based off the CGI alone. So that's why it makes my list. Avengers Infinity War. I don't need to give any description about that. Everybody knows that's my favorite Avengers movie. Probably my favorite of the MCU movies. There was just so many good fight sequences, so much weight carried in that movie with everything that was going on. John Wick 2. Fun fact, John Wick is the only movie franchise that actually shows up on two people's list in our top 10 favorite movies. So Ryan, his favorite was John Wick 3. My favorite's John Wick 2. But outside of that, all of our other movies are different. So Django Unchained. I should have put Django Unchained Part 1 and Django Unchained Part 2 because I am a firm believer that there are two parts to this movie. There is everything that leads up to the introduction of Samuel Jackson's character Steven, and then everything after his character is introduced. He hands down killed that role. I hated him and loved him at the same time. Django Unchained is one of the funniest movies out there. That's probably not even meant to be as funny as it is, but it is absolutely hilarious. So Mission Impossible 3. I'm a huge fan of the Mission Impossible series. Mission Impossible 3 was actually the first one that I saw in theaters when I was younger, and then I remember going back and watching Mission Impossible 1 and 2, and then of course I kept up with all the other ones. So Mission Impossible 3 holds a special place in my heart because it was the first one that I saw.
When they made you think that they killed his wife,
yeah,
in that
bro.
Movie, holy shit!
Oh,
what
man.
a plot twist!
Yeah, dude, it was. Oh man, there's so many good parts of that movie, man. Freaking
agree.
love it. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This was a tough one for me to pick between episodes 1, 2, and 3. It's no secret that the original, or I guess I should say the original 1, 2, and 3 movies, but not the original trilogy.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, are my favorite. And it's hands down because of the lightsaber duels. Those 3 movies, you can call out so many different duels in all 3 of those movies. But when I think about Revenge of the Sith, the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan, I mean, it literally is like a 30-minute fight. Also, the fight between Yoda and Emperor Palpatine really, really stands out to me. So just all around, personally, one of my favorite movies and some really, really good action. Four Brothers. This is up there for me. I fucking love this movie. I will watch it anytime it is on TV. It's just one of those movies where, like, if you didn't, like, you don't know what it's about, you don't know what to expect, and it is just freaking awesome. It keeps you guessing up until the end of, like, what's going on, like, who actually, like, committed the crime and, like, what they're trying to find out and investigate. very emotional with something that happens in the movie, like literally like made me cry, man. So it's just all around good movie, and just Mark Wahlberg just doing what he does best, just being a fucking asshole. My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, that is the second My Hero Academia movie, one of my all-time favorites. The final fight sequence in that movie is just phenomenal. They just do such an amazing job with it. To this day, it still gets me emotional and brings tears to my eyes at how beautiful it is. If you haven't noticed, a lot of my movies revolve around like action sequences because that's like what I love. Like I love a good action set piece. And then last but not least, the classic. If you haven't seen this movie and you're black, your black card will be revoked. It would be Friday. All three of the Friday movies are classics, but specifically the first one, pretty much every black person has seen this movie. It's honestly like, you know, an initiation almost. And it will forever remain one of my favorite movies. So that is my top 10 list.
So would you place Friday over Boys in the Hood in terms of like
For
black
me,
movies?
for me personally, if somebody else plays Boys in the Hood over Friday, I would not be mad at it. Like, because I completely understand.
I was about to say, like, there's some black movies that are like just staples. You don't put a black movie over another. But
Okay,
if you say
fair.
you haven't watched it, you are questioned.
I got you. All right, fair enough. I think it's a great list, and it's making me think about other things. Like so many of these on both of y'all's lists would be like if I had honorable mentions, I would throw that out there.
Yep.
Four Brothers is a sleeper for sure.
It is.
For sure.
I remember the first time I watched it, it was like, I forget what station it was on, maybe like TNT. And I had no idea what it was about and was just glued in the entire time, bro. Like, it was so good. Love that movie.
A lot of my list sparked a lot of my interest, so that's why a lot of my movies, like, I mean, Tokyo Drift, that came out in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I remember going home playing Underground 2, drifting, like as soon as I went home. Like, I remember doing it. Top Gun, well, the original Top Gun. Me and my brother used to always say, "Hey, like we'll fly together. We'll go to the Air Force and fly together." My big ass can't fit in no fucking fighter jet now. But I mean, you know, Top Gun 2 was amazing. I remember seeing that in the theaters. Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children, clearly 7 is my favorite Final Fantasy game anyway. Biker Boys, the whole reason why I bought a fucking motorcycle is because of Biker Boys. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Dude, they need to remaster Underground 2. I don't need new cars. I don't need any of that. I just need that game like to come back.
Give me the original. Give me the original soundtrack.
Yes, exactly. So, honorable mention. Definitely a lot of you guys' movies are on there. Bad Boys 2 for me, for sure. Top Gun 2. Man, that movie is just phenomenal. I was not expecting that movie to be that good. And it just, man, and you think what I love about it is you think the movie's over, and then there's like another 20 to 30 minute like sequence that you got to watch. So, Top Gun 2 like is very, very good. Got
another
a
one that I
lot going
struggled
in the
with.
chat. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, go ahead. No.
I was going to say a lot in the chat, but go ahead.
There was one other that was kind of sneaking in there for me, and I struggled with a little bit. Is just I think such a sleeper of a movie is Wind River with Jeremy Renner.
Wind River. I've never heard of that. I don't think
no one has.
Never heard of it.
Watch that fucking movie, dude. If you liked Four Brothers, if you like gritty, emotional, like people going after their own justice sort of thing. He's a tracker. He works for the like National Wildlife Service, like hunting predators and stuff on the Wind River Reservation out in Wyoming. And this Native American girl gets murdered out there, and the local tribe has like a very minimal police force, so they hire him to help just like kind of help with the investigation. And it gets intense, dude. Kate, what's her name? Olsen. Kate Olsen's in it too. John Barenthal.
Oh,
sleeper
I love
of a
John
movie.
Barenthal. Love John Barenthal. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna add it to my list for sure. Lot going on in the chat. But Lex also put her top 5 movies in the chat. You can check that out. Everybody's just talking about their favorite movies, which is what we want to see. So I'm gonna definitely go back through the chat. And if there's some things out there that you guys have named that I haven't seen, I'm gonna add it to my list because I love watching movies. So I'm always down to watch a good movie.
Yep, for sure.
Good stuff. All right. Well, we are going to move on to our last segment. So, we have mentioned quite a few times that we are on episode 10, and we wanted to give some shout outs, man, because we've had some people that have been rocking with us since episode 1, been super active in the chat, just been super supportive, super engaging. So, we just want to take a moment to say that we appreciate you all and give some shout outs. So, I'm going to start. I got to start with Lex, our A1 since day one. She was the first real follower that we had in the Just in Time stream that wasn't like friend or family. And that was all the way back in 2021. And she has been kicking it with us ever since. We really, truly appreciate the support and dedication that you've shown to our content. Thank you. Thank you so much. You've become really just a great person that we love to engage with during the chat. So thank you for that support, 100%. Shout out
Even
to
jumping in on my streams.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it's not just on Justice. Like she hops into my stream. She's followed our podcast. Like she's just like you said, A1 since day one. We appreciate you, Lex.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lex.
Next, I got to give a shout out to Beast Boy. He is probably the only person in the chat that stays on top of spoiler alerts more than us. He's always got something to share. We truly appreciate it. Getting the spoiler alerts before we get there. That's the name of our show, so I want you to tone it down a little bit. We don't want you taking credit for all of that stuff. But nah, man, we really appreciate you always chatting, always being engaged. So thank you. Thank you so much. And then I have to get a shout out to my mom. She does not say much, probably because she doesn't really know how to work the chat function. But she always lets us know that she's here. And she has watched every episode. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for birthing me. Because otherwise I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So just wanted to give you a quick shout out. And that covers the shout outs that I wanted to give.
Shout out Justice Mom. What up? Thanks for joining.
Mama.
We appreciate you making an account just to watch us.
Exactly.
It helps a lot. And for all of you, like anybody who drops a comment in our chat, y'all, like it means a lot. Like we may not always acknowledge it or get around to it, but like just knowing that we have people out there who care enough to like listen to us and respond to us and give us, stuff to interact with. So we're not just talking at our screens here. Like it means a lot. So we appreciate everybody who's in here every week, just
Facts.
interacting with us and showing some love. My first shout out would be, of course, my name is Despair. I could go on for a few different things. She's my boo thing, and she always joins every week if she doesn't pass out. She picked me up today on my run when I got gassed out. I said a friend, but it was Despair. I was like, look, I got to get home. I got to make food. I got to make this show. And like, I could walk, but it's going to take me like an hour to get home. Can you please come pick me up? And she did. And yeah, just thanks for always joining here and being interactive and surprising me with your anime knowledge. Like we don't talk about this much in person, but she knows way more anime than I thought. So always appreciate her. Suki 115, I think it is. She's not in the chat tonight, but she's also been an OG fan. She's my neighbor. She was a fan of our podcast, was our number one fan on podcast, was our Patreon. And has followed us on to this as well. We usually start streaming a little bit late for her. She works at a coffee shop and usually has to get up super early, so she's usually in bed by the time our stream comes on. So we appreciate her joining when we can. Connor, my dog, you pulled the same thing as Travis. You used your real name on Twitch, which you're not supposed to do. But hey, man, we appreciate you coming out anyway. Appreciate you being a tier 1 sub, even though you have no fucking clue what that means, or
I don't fucking use it, but whatever.
But I think he's another one that made a Twitch account specifically for us. So, good friend in real life and on the stream as well. So, thanks, bro. We appreciate you. We love you. That's my set. We love y'all. Thanks for coming out.
I don't think a lot of people understand, like the fans as well as the supporters make us. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we do this because we love it. But I mean, shit, we feed off of this, man. We feed off the comments. We feed off the love that y'all give us. We just absolutely love you guys, man. My shout outs, we're going to start with first and foremost, my wife. Spent the Twitch for this alone, and I didn't even have to tell her to. Like, she just all of a sudden pops in the chat, like, while we're talking. And all of a sudden I look and I was like, man, that name really looks fucking familiar. And of course, my wife, I'm like, oh, that's so fucking awesome. When we had the podcast, she listened to every single episode. Like, she would drive to go see her sister, and she would literally listen to every single episode of the podcast. So that one view, that one extra view that we've had, or that one download that we was literally her. Like, she would literally number one supporter, obviously, since me and her have been together, but especially when we all started popping off, you know, she's been functions, and honestly, she loves it. Like, she loves everything that we do. So yeah. Next up, I got Uncle Elroy. Everybody talking about Elroy.
Big horse. Let's go.
Let me tell you, man, this dude
AKA
is a damn
Zaddy.
trip, man. He's Zaddy. That's my
Zaddy.
dog. That dude is hell, but he is so fun to play games with, man. Huge supporter. I don't know, man. We gotta have you on. You will probably crack everybody and they mama
We
up like
absolutely
a
should
fucking
have
egg.
him on as a guest. That is a
I'm
great
not.
idea.
I'm telling you, man, this is a great idea. We got to do it. Last one, KO Mega Blade. I don't think he's in the chat tonight, but that dude, when you want to talk about somebody about some knowledge, man, like whether it's a movie, a video game, this dude has it. Like, if you want to talk about somebody raging, that dude is king rage. Like,
For sure.
between him and Nick, like rage kings, I promise you. But that dude is hella passionate about his video games, hella passionate about his movies, man, and like the support that he gives us, like even challenging us when we're talking about some certain topics, man. That dude is awesome, bro. I feel like all of our people, all of our supporters, man, all of y'all are awesome, bro. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
just the one view, you know, bumps us up on that list in Twitch. Like it goes such a long way when we're so small time like this. So I know
For
Monday
sure.
nights are crazy for me, probably crazy for everyone else. So
Yeah, even the
we just
people who
appreciate so much that y'all give us an hour of your time every week.
Yeah, even the people who don't necessarily hop in but support in other ways. Like I'm thinking of my wife. You know, she has a standing call on Monday, so she can't make it to the show. But like asked her like to design a logo for us, and she did it in a heartbeat. You know, and that was
And knocked it out of the park too.
yeah,
And
that was really
phenomenal.
helpful. It's like such a dope logo. And so, you know, really appreciate her doing that. So we appreciate all of our fans, all of our supporters who just, you know, show support in a multitude of different ways. So we love y'all from the
Agreed.
bottom of our hearts.
I mean, I love y'all, man.
All right,
That's
well,
like Justin when he gets drunk.
oh yeah,
shit.
right. I love y'all, man. I'm an emotional drunk. I like to tell my friends that I love them. So, all right, well, that is our show for the day. It was a great show, a great 10th episode. So, once again, don't forget to hit that follow button on Twitch if you haven't done so you don't miss our live show. We always air Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, follow us on Twitter for updates and subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can rewatch the show as well as watch different clips and stuff that we've put up. And both of the handles for those are at Spoiler Alert for You. And again, that's at Spoiler Alert, the number 4, the letter U. If we spoiled something for you, sorry, not sorry, because we are just talking about the things that we love. And spoiler alert, we do truly love all of you too. And we will see you next week.